And we start with a look at the big wildfires burning in Northern California. Good afternoon. You're watching the ABC 10 News at 5. I'm Chris Thomas.
And I'm Madison Wade. Thanks for joining us. Let's get straight to the numbers tonight. All National Forest Service lands, roads, and trails are closed in the El Dorado National Forest, all because of the fast-growing Caldor Fire, which grew nearly 3,000 acres since yesterday. As of the latest update, it is not contained, but firefighters have been able to keep flames from jumping Highway 50. There are still evacuation orders and warnings in El Dorado and Amador counties. ABC 10's Erica Stapleton is joining us near Kybers with a live report.
Hey Madison, we've seen CAL FIRE crews going throughout these communities all day long along that Highway 50 corridor, removing brush, removing little pieces of land, even trees like this. Come take a look at this. So we were actually in the yard earlier when CAL FIRE crews were removing these trees right here. They were just freshly cut pieces of brush, and they're moving them out of the way so they can create some barriers for some of the structures that are out here right now. They're creating these 50 to 100-foot gaps so they can create a fuel break in case those flames do come over the hill into this area. And I do want to say that this is something that has not happened just yet. At this point, the Caldor Fire has not crested over that hill, as we said, into these communities, but the threat is still there. And if the growing fire does creep closer, the big concern is still whether the fire will jump from the south over to the north side of Highway 50. And right now, prep work is the name of the game. Not only are these crews out here, but we saw multiple people watering down their homes and properties, trying to prevent any falling ash and embers from sparking a hot spot.
It's just prepping these houses, getting them ready to go. If that fire makes a push over that hill back there, these houses should be in good position where they can stand alone and be good to go.
That was Terrell Norwood. He is with San Bernardino National Forest, and he says their crew got in last night and got straight to work working in some of these communities here, as we said, moving some of that brush that could be potential fuel for the fire. He says the biggest concern right now is this inversion layer. If it lifts up and giving the sun some way to get in on the ground to warm up some of these fuels that are on the ground, that will be their biggest concern as the fire continues to grow and creep this way. But as of right now, he says that hasn't happened yet. Things are still looking okay here, and especially with the work they've been doing, hopefully it will help protect the properties that are standing. I'll send it back to you, Madison.
Erica, thank you. Of course, it's great to see our firefighters hard at work. Our hats go off to them for what they're doing to prevent more loss of property. Erica, thank you. Now, there is one evacuation center open for people in the Caldor Fire area. It's at the El Dorado Community Center on Pleasant Valley Road in El Dorado Hills.
And El Dorado County Animal Services is taking in small animals that need shelter. The Amador County Fairgrounds is the location for large animals. Meanwhile, the Dixie Fire has reached 5 counties now. Firefighters tell us it has edged into the southeast corner of Shasta County. The biggest single origin fire in California history has now burned more than 678,000 acres, and it is still at 35% containment. ABC 10's Ariana Cohen is live in Quincy with the emotional toll this is taking on neighbors.
Yes, Chris, it's newly opened and so many families are coming in and out of here for resources. It's been a really emotional day. I talked to some families that say they lived in a house in Oregon and lost their house to a fire there. They came here to get away only to lose their house to a fire once again. I also met 2 best friends who share their story, and one woman says she's suffering from what she calls survivor's guilt.
All of my friends are suffering. All of my friends are suffering. You know, they've lost everything.
Melody Hamilton and Lisa Roberts are best friends from Greenville, the small historic town devastated by the Dixie Fire. Melody's house survived the flames while Lisa's did not.
We've lost everything, but then we've found so many good people that I never realized there were that many good people out there.
It was like, God, just give me one reason. Let me tell you, I yelled, I screamed, I hollered at him. I hollered at him and asked him why he would allow this to happen.
They both came to the local assistance center in Quincy, which is providing resources on the road to recovery. The Dixie Fire continues to scorch communities at an alarming rate. Thursday, firefighters say winds are still a big factor in battling the blaze.
The wind was coming in different directions, coming out of the south, southwest. We're using fire to fight fire. This operation is going right straight like it's supposed to. It's definitely an up and down emotion because I feel for the people that are being evacuated.
This is my best friend.
For these two best friends, they have faith their special town will rebuild.
Greenville will rise again. We're a strong community and we'll rise above this.
The local assistance center will be open until Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and they have a lot of resources here like the Red Cross here, DMV, mental health services, and unemployment help. Madison and Chris.
Good to see the good work that's being done right there behind you, even as we speak to try and help those folks in that town. We thank you, Ariana, for that live report. Let's get you over to Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods now for a closer look at conditions as we speak.
Well, that fire is so far from us, but just seeing those pictures of how much smoke is still coming off of the Dixie Fire, not surprising what we saw in the valley for today. You can see we're still pulling in a tremendous amount of smoke through the valley, not only from the Dixie Fire, but from the Caldor Fire as well. And that's going to stay with us for at least the next couple of days. Taking a look at what we've been seeing here throughout the valley, we've been seeing those southwest winds starting to pick up right now, but predominant northwest winds have been pulling in that smoke from multiple fires burning throughout the state. The Monument and the McFarland also coming into play here. Currently, though, the most hazardous air is right around the fire lines, but we are getting some pretty thick concentrations, especially through the foothills, through the southern mother lode, and some higher concentrations around the Dixie Fire with unhealthy to very unhealthy, almost hazardous air in some areas. Starting to see more of that fill in throughout the valley. And as far as the winds along the Caldor Fire, we are looking at most of that moving towards the southeast flank of that fire. We'll continue to watch these hot spots there as well as along the Dixie Fire, where those winds are a little bit more off on the north and east. And you were hearing from some of the fire lines that they're really watching that southern portion there. Red flag warning in effect for just the next couple of hours. We'll be tracking that as we head into tonight and early tomorrow.